Yeah, you can see your screen.
Okay. I don't know why my comp is hanging.
It's not hanging on our end. Sisi tunaona vizuri kabisa.
Yeah, so this is what I had. But I haven't refactored it. I know there's better ways I could do it, but first I wanted to make sure it was working.
Mhm.
So the first thing I did, I think I'll need this code. I'll naitwaje? Inactivate so that I explain as I go along.
Yeah.
So my approach was my pseudocode was something like, let me get that. So my pseudocode read, the first thing I wanted to do was to, having read the instructions on the free code camp page, I wrote my pseudocode. So the first thing I thought to do was first take the string as is, whatever would be passed here when we call the
Mhm.
function down here. So in my case, the first word was California. So I thought take the string past and then split it. The order in which I wrote this code is not the order in which venye sahi code inakasi venye niliandika, because I realized there was a catch somewhere along the way. But first, I decided to start with the simplest. So first declared my variables. So this is a regular expression, and I call it vowel ini regex ama regex. Hiyo basi. And I was supposed to check for any of these letters, the vowels, and whether that would be the I is a flag for whether that would be uppercase or lowercase. Then I declared another variable because I realized whichever way I'd have to split the string. So I declared another variable called split string, and I used the dot split method. And there was no, the separator was empty upper, so that it would give me each letter separately. Then I declared this first character, I declared was for the first test I was going to do, which was to check if the first letter is a vowel. Then I initialized a new variable here called new string, which I'd use uko chini. So uh, let me activate that. So I realized to it was easier to first check to do the easiest test, which was to check kama the first letter is a vowel, because that one was pretty straightforward. The test was if the first letter is a vowel, then simply take the string as it is and add WAY at the end. So that was my first test, which is this bit we are seeing. If I use the dot test method, it will be if this regex expression, if I test for it and the first character contains either contains any of these vowels, then what I want you to do is to return to me the string as it is and add WAY. I use template literals. I think here we a bit straightforward. Then this bit of code I didn't write it initially, but Sun will end up to include. So initially my code didn't have this. It just had if the vowel, if I test for the first character and it's a vowel, give me the string and add WAY. So let's first skip this part so that I can be able to explain why I added it hapo katikati. So initially my code was if the string, the first character is not a vowel, I want you to loop through that array. So I used the for loop upper. So I declared, the for loop, the initialization, and then I took, remember I split my word over here, upper kwa split string. So I want to loop through this split string. So then initialize here, then check if the index haijafika mwisho wa that array, increment it. And then inside the loop, my test was if I'll take this regular expression and I'll test it for, as I loop through, I want you to check when you come across a vowel, because remember the instructions were if whenever you come across you get rid of the consonant clusters. I think that was the instruction. You check the sorry. You check the
You can share your screen where you have VS Code and also maybe the question. I think that will make it easy even for you to walk
oh
through
yeah.
the question also. So maybe open the challenge and then have it side by side together with your code.
Inaonekana hivyo.
We can only see your VS Code.
Okay, do I stop sharing? I don't
Yeah,
know how
stop
to.
sharing. Stop
And then
sharing
share
and then
again.
share the whole screen. Yeah, that should fix it.
Do I do my entire screen or it's going to give me the infinity thing?
If it gives you the infinity window, you'll just replace it with the browser. It will stop the infinity thing. So it's okay. Even if it comes up in shida, there's a way to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That
fine. Yeah, it's
I
okay. Fine. Yeah,
so then I'm going to so these were the
yeah,
instructions.
yeah. Maybe zoom in a bit on Chrome. Yeah,
Much better, I hope.
much better.
Okay.
Let's split
So
it.
the
Yeah,
instructions were so we've already done this part. E, if a word begins with a well, just add WAY, which is this part of my code upper. So then the next instruction was if, for me, my pseudocode was the next instruction was this part. If a word begins with a consonant, take the first consonant or consonant cluster. So this was a bit confusing initially, but I think once I looked at the test cases upper, like this word glove, I figured I wanted my loop first split this word glove. So you were GLOVE, split it here so that you give me GLOVE. And then with my loop, with my for loop, now this for loop, I want you to go through this array, the split one. So enda kwa G. So here, what my code is doing is if my regular expression is testing. So what am I testing? In the first iteration, like for the word glove, what this is in the first iteration is letter G. So what my code is doing is if I test for this and it is a vowel, I want you down here I wanted it to slice it at that point. But first nilikuwa nataka niangalie kama index itaniambia so that then here it would read something like if that particular iteration of within the loop is a vowel, I want you to output this to my console. So itaruka G sababu G si vowel, itaruka L sababu L si vowel, itafika kwa O. So it will output O is a vowel and the position is index. Here it should give me index 2. And the reason I was doing this is because I wanted to later use the index when I slice it up chini. So now that I've known this bit is working, so then I moved to the next step, which was I want to get the consonant, the consonant cluster. So I used slice, and the syntax for slice is take an array, then use the dot slice method, and I want you to slice from the first position up until index. So what is index in my code? Index in my code is kwenye kuna vowel, because you remember my code is checking here. It will stop when it comes across a vowel, and I want you to slice from 0 to the first position of the vowel. So kama ni glove, itanipatia, it should give me G and L. So then now the tricky bit was how do I get the remainder of the letters? Because remember, in my code I want to concatenate hizi zote pale mwisho. So I already have GL. I want GL, I want OVE because O is the first vowel, and that is what the instruction tells us. Glove should return of glay. So I want GL, I want of, and then I want to add AY pale mwisho. So how do I get the remainder of the letters? I still used dot slice. So here, what I'm doing is, remember this new string is a variable I've initialized hapa, so it already exists. So I want to assign it to the split string, which is the original word, but now I want you to slice it, take index. So index ni kwenye the first vowel. Take index in this position. Sasa in this nini code see glove, now it will be position. Index will be position 2 because G is index 1, G is index 0, L index 1, and then O is index 2. So now to get this OVE, I want you to slice from that index. So from 2, I want you to slice from 2 and give me the rest of the string. So I used string dot length because I realized if I use string dot length minus 1, it doesn't work. So I want the rest of the string. So slice from hapa kwenye umepata hiyo vowel, kata kwanzia hapo and give me the rest of the word. So that is still an array. So then I joined with no separator. So in new string sasa kwa code yangu, if I'm using the word glove, that is OVE. So then now I want to join the entire string hapa. So give me the new string. Remember new string ni E hapa, EOVE. Give me that. Give me the consonant. This one, E yenye ulikata, EGL ulikata hapo. So join that and AY, which is what we are supposed to add. But then also this code worked for all these tests except this one, rhythm. Let me just
Yeah, that last one was tricky. You thought you passed the whole thing until you realized the last one was
because
throwing
all
us
of
back.
of them would work isipokuwa hiyo.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just try and I need to get into the folder. Give me a second. Can I get a home? Yeah. Wait. Okay. Let me just check what this folder is in.
That your accountability buddy we can hear in the background.
This one is singing along. Gosh, okay, I don't know where this folder. Ngoja niangalie. What's in arrow functions? Okay, ndo kamalize.
You find it.
I have so many folders mpaka nasikia. Give me a second. Gosh, live Nini has so it gives me jitters when I'm trying to explain my code in a meeting. So now I found the right folder. So you see with California, it works because it's giving me this output, which is expected when we check. When we check here, it is this output. So the next one was paragraphs. I won't go through all of them.
Yeah.
So with paragraphs, when I check, it also works. Let's just do one with vowels. With vowels, it's just supposed to add 8-way. So it was working. All the tests were passing isipokuwa this last word. So this is what made me I had to go and edit my code. Sorry, not there. I had to go and edit my code because this one wasn't passing. Unaona inaleta undefined because what's happening here is so it will take that word, that rhythm word, ikuje hapa iangalie the first if. The first character is not a vowel, so it will skip this entire code and come to the next bit. Itangalie ione, bado we don't have a vowel, so there's nowhere to split this word. So it wouldn't pass, and that's why it's giving us undefined. So then I introduced another test here, and it only made sense to add it upper katikati. So I introduced another if statement, and my if statement was check this bit, test my word or my string that's been input into the function, and if it does not have any vowel at all, so I've nullified it with this exclamation mark. Kama haina any vowel, I want you to return that string as it is and add ay at the end, because it wasn't passing with just those two tests. So now with that bit of code, if I use the word rhythm hapa chini, it should pass. So yeah, that was the last test. So that was my approach. My code is a bit ni mingi kidogo, but I'll refactor it. But that was my approach, and I'm curious to hear if anyone did it a bit differently.
Yeah, don't worry. It normally starts off with a lot of code and then you refactor afterwards. But even the fact that you have the answer is still very impressive, because it's normally, those are intermediate algorithms in that course. So they're
Yeah.
not meant to be easy. They're meant to be tough. And this is a very popular
Yeah.
question. So good job.
Thank you. And then also, just as I'm stopping to share and muting my mic, I also realized I get a bit confused with splice, and
Yeah,
splice
don't
and
worry.
split. So
We are like a whole lorry of people. Hata mimi niko hapo.
hey, I don't know kama ni cheat sheet nitatafuta hizo tatu, but they mess me up a bit. Anyway, thanks guys for following through. Please ask how people approached it. I'd be curious.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Evans was the one who has also done it. Hi everyone. Yeah, if I haven't said hi, tutasalimiana tukiendelea. Evans, you can share your screen if you're ready.
So let me give it a go.
Okay, as Evans does that, let me ask. I know Fatma finished. Joseph, hi. Bariza Leo, did you manage to finish that thing?
Hi. Not. I'm currently trying to finish it up right now.
Okay, no
Just
problem.
a small bit remaining.
Hi Fatma, hi Catherine.
Hi.
You can see my screen here.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So this is my solution. Is it zoomed well? I hope.
Maybe zoom in a bit.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, much better.
Okay. So there's my code. Hata mi ilinikula kichwa kidogo. So vitu zingine ilikuwa try and error, alafu zikafanya nikasema sitaziguza. So let's go through it. I have split my string here so that I can work with an array on line 395. Then I have my regex, the vowels. Then I have an array here, an empty one, which I'll show what it does in a bit. So I'm looping through the array that I got after splitting the string from line 398 here. So I'm using the for loop. You can see here I've commented. First, I'm testing if the first character is a vowel. We just add way at the end of the string. Essentially, that is what the test wants us to do. So testing if the first character is a vowel it's enough. Even if the rest of them are vowels, that will do. So if the first one is a vowel, we just take our string and add way at the end. Then here we check for consonants at the start of the string. So what I'm doing, I'm looping through the string here using the for loop. So whenever we come across a vowel, whether it will be after 1 character, after 10 characters, we splice the part of the string that is just before that vowel. So if we have, like here we have glove, we come across O, we will take G and L. So I'm splicing from G and just before O. So that's what I'm doing here in line from line of 4, 5, 14 here. So I'm taking, so it's the vowels dot test string array and the index of each not consonant, character of that string. So as we loop over it, so here in the consonants character, the array, the empty array I initiated here, we are pushing this slice. So it's from index 0, that is the start of that array, to I. And as we know how slice works, the last index here is always exclusive. It is not like sliced itself. So 0 is inclusive, this one is exclusive. So I is the index of our vowel. So I'll show an example just with this one. So if we are looping and we find O is a vowel, we will take from G to L. So our index is of O, but it is exclusive. This I is for O, but it is not sliced itself. So you're taking the consonants. So that is how I approach to that way of like slicing that chunk of consonants at the beginning of the string. So that slice that I'm pushing into this consonants array, now we come to line 407. I'm giving it a variable called first consonants. Just something I thought about. First cons because they are starting at the start of the string. Then I'm joining them because they're in form of an array. So I'm joining them just so that it can go back to being a string. So in this case, it would be like G and L, then dot join. So this one would be like in form of an array, then dot join, so that they can be like G and L, just like that. Then I return our string. Then I slice, like, okay, let me try to explain in a better way here. So our string is still glove. So I'm slicing the G and L that I created here, that I worked on here on line 47. So I'm slicing it, then I'm adding it at the end. So I don't know if you can get, like, I'm slicing these ones so they are removed, then I'm adding it out. You can see this concatenation here. So I'm plus that first consonants still. I don't know if that's a question. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, so can you, what is, so first cons,
Yeah,
when you have glove,
yeah.
what will the array look like? When you have first in first
Okay,
cons, when you have glove, what is first const? Is it
let
going to
me
be, maybe you can console log it?
console log it.
Yeah.
So you can see first const is G and L.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me show again before here. I can console log. I wanted to show like when it's in form of an array just before joining. So you can see here, it's like it's in the form of an array G and L, yeah. But when I
Okay.
join, so we get G and L like in the form of a string.
Okay. So So when you slice
Yeah.
the first const dot length is 2, right? Because, or what is the value there? Because on line 410, you're saying you're saying string dot slice, and then the first argument you're passing in is first cons dot length. So
So this,
mhm,
so slice, as we know, works like with the index, the starting index,
mhm,
and the last index, isn't it?
mhm,
But now I'm just giving it one value, so it's slicing. Like
mhm,
if I've given it say 2, it would slice
mhm,
from index 2 up to the
mhm.
end.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
So
we have
mhm,
like this
mhm,
word glove, we would
mhm.
have 0 and 2. So it's sliced from 0, will remain with OVE.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Mhm,
these ones have been removed, right?
mhm. Yes.
Then we are adding them. Now the
Mhm,
first const,
mhm,
and we have joined them already, so they're not in the form of an array. We have
mhm,
seen it's G and L. So we
mhm,
have removed them here, then we have added them here, like
mhm. Yes.
that, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Then
That is a
plus
mhm.
AY.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. So what you
Yeah.
did is, so first cons,
Yeah.
when you declare the variable,
Yeah.
it has G and L, right? And then you join
That's
them.
on line 4. Wait.
That's so on line 4, you join them. On line
Yeah.
4,
Yeah.
408, you join them
Yeah.
to give you like a single word, which is G and L,
Yeah. To prevent them from being a string, an array. Yes.
an array.
Yeah.
And then you add that to, so now you slice. So now you have the length of your array, which is 2, but now it's not an array, now it's a string. It's G and L. So it's 2.
Yeah.
It's 2
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
First count is 2 because you joined G and L to give
Yeah.
you one word.
Yeah.
So you slice from O. So in the glove string, you slice from O all the
Yeah.
way to the end of that string, which is E.
Yes.
And then you take your first const, which is G and L.
And that
You
at the end.
concatenate them together. So now it's O, V, E, and then G, L, and
Yeah.
then you add AY.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
That's
well
a lot.
done.
Yeah.
No, but it's a brilliant solution.
Yeah. So I've not optimized it. So maybe I'll sit down and look at what I can do to make it understandable in a better way. Yeah. So that is how I approached that part.
Okay.
Then there's that part that we had that I think I could have shared the entire screen, but
Uh,
there's that part where they wanted us if the whole word is consonants, it's still like you just add uh, ay at the end. So that is what I've done here. So what it means, if the consonants array is empty, remember we were checking for consonants at the end. So uh, if where is that? Oh, here we did our consonants, then we checked for our consonants here, and here it was checking for vowels. So this one actually it was just trial and error to see if it would work, but it checks like I wanted to check like if there were no if consonants if there were no consonants added to this consonants characters array, then just take that word and add ay at the end. Allow me to share the entire screen so that we can see the uh, tell me if it's visible.
yes, we can
It
see
is.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had this like they wanted to handle words without vowels. So they had given like this example. Uh, So it should just add ay at the end. So that this is like the condition I used. First I had put it inside the for loop, then I found that it was not working at all. So I just put it outside here. Just trial and error. Yeah, so essentially it first thing is that this word doesn't have vowels at the beginning of the word itself. So this one, the one that checks for vowels will fail. Then essentially this one will is checking for a vowel inside the word. This one from line 4.5 to 4.11, it's checking for a vowel inside this word. Then all the letters before that vowel are sliced and added to the end. But now for such a word, it will find no vowel. It will just find consonants. So essentially, this one also will fail this one. So this one is the one that will work for such a word that just has consonants in it. That is according to my code. I think for someone else's code, this one will not like it would be different. Yeah. So essentially, that is what passed in my code. I would take maybe questions or comments to optimize my code or something like that.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Why
Yeah.
is like everyone going the array route? Isn't it making it a bit more complicated? If like we were dealing with the words, an array would make sense. But if it's a single word,
Mm-hmm.
why go the array route? I think it makes things a bit more complicated.
Sure. I don't know. I just find it easier to work with arrays than strings, but I know strings can work too. So I just wanted first for the code to work, and then come back and see if I can do with strings. Maybe do some research on how I can work with strings because I'm more used to working with arrays. That is me personally. I don't know
So
about
yeah,
that.
so in JavaScript we have things called iterables. A string is also an iterable. Like it's almost the same as an array. There's no much difference,
So
but
even a
yeah,
for loop
it's
can work
nice.
for string.
Yeah, actually, yeah, like a for loop, a for off loop.
Oh, even a
Like you
for.
can iterate over a string using those loops. Like yeah, even I don't think I think arrays add a bit of complexity. If it was a sentence, it would make sense now to use arrays so that you work on each word. But now that it's a string, and I see like everybody is using this string array approach. Yeah, so I just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'll
if I
try working
can
with
add
it
to
if
that,
anything.
I think it's because like most of us are, that's the first thought that will pop in your head, to use an array. Because even for me, I think that was the first one that I thought about. But like Joseph said, it's true, it does add up some complexity or some overhead. But I think when you're trying to solve it the first time, you're obviously going to go the array direction first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joseph is right. It does add an extra overhead. But very nice solution.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who else? Who else? I think Fatma already shared her solution in the group chat. I think we already saw her solution. Right. So, Joseph, are you done with your implementation?
Yeah, let me share it.
Okay.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Catherine, did you get the link to the challenge? I had sent it in the chat.
Yes, I did, but I didn't get the chance to work on it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my solution. Like, as soon as I saw it's a single word, I automatically thought of solving it like using string methods. So this is just a function to check whether it's a vowel or not by testing it against the regular expression, and then definitely it will return a true or false, right? And then we have a string to hold our consonants. And then now we have a for of loop here. As I told, was it Evans? You can just iterate over a string the way you will iterate over an array. So for each letter, I'm running this condition to check whether it's a vowel. Yes, whether it's a consonant, because you see it's the opposite of the test. So if it's a consonant, we add it to the consonant group. Else, we just continue running to the else block here. So, yeah, so assuming the word, for example, for algorithm is not a consonant, so we'll reach this block. First, we'll check the consonant group. If it's empty, doesn't contain anything, it definitely means that that particular string that you're testing starts with a vowel. So it automatically return it here. So this will return the algorithm way and stuff here. And then you add way at the end. And then you also have an else block. So this else block will be used to find consecutive consonants based on, like, you're slicing from according to the length of what we have on the here. So assuming it's this glove word, we'll have G and L in this consonants group. So that is 2. And then, so this will be 2. So we'll take it from 2 to the end. So this is 0, 1, 2. 2 to the end is OVE. So that's an example. Get the rest of the word like that. And then you simply return it. So this particular else block will work with, we'll look at all the, like where you have a consecutive consonants. And then last but not least, we simply return the string. If this whole block is not activated, it means the string is simply all consonants. So you just take the string and add AY at the end. For example, rhythm, yeah, it will be handled at the end here. As you can see, like, using strings, it's pretty simple in my opinion as compared to implementing it using arrays. But if we had like letters, like sentences, for example, but like California and something else, it would make sense to use an array. Yeah, that's my solution.
But I can see there's an occurring theme. Regex was the way to go, because that's what everybody has used. Regex.
Yeah, definitely. Regex will be the way to go, because like you can create conditions if you have something to test and get either true or false. As long as you can test conditions, that thing will be suitable. For example, to create a function that checks, for example, is vowel, like this one.
Joseph,
Yes.
on line 2, that is a function that you created, then you're calling it on now inside the for loop on line 6. There is vowel
Yeah.
is a function.
Yeah.
Or then you're passing it like that letter so that it can check whether it's a vowel.
Yeah. When we're iterating over this string, like let me take glove for example. for example. So the letter here, when we reach glove, will be G in the first time, and then in the second time it will be L, and then I'm checking it against like using this function here.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's I could also use a for loop, but actually for off was is meant to make your loops easier. Like for
I
for
thought
loop,
it.
you have to maintain the I, and then you have to think about I being less than whatever, maybe string dot length. It will also work, and then also incrementing it. But as you can see, for the for loop, like for the for off, I don't have a lot of overhead to keep track of. And then here I'd have to come again and say I'm checking for str. Then like there's a lot of overhead using a for loop, and that's why like for off was brought in like in year 6 to make your loops easier. You see, like compare this and this.
Sure,
You just
sure.
know that if you're iterating over like an array, it's for off. If you want to iterate over an object, it's for in.
For in.
That's another
I
one
thought
called
for
for
off
in.
is for array arrays on. So
Any
strings
iterable, you
are
can
much
iterate.
like arrays.
Yeah,
Kind.
strings, even maps. Like just go and look at the concept of iterables. There are a lot of things that you can iterate on maps. I'm not sure whether you can iterate over sets, but yeah, strings, arrays, objects, etc. Yeah. Okay. I guess that there's no other
Okay,
question.
very well done. Okay, I guess I can I think Fatma had already shown us her solution, so I don't think she really needs to walk through it again. But it's very similar to I think what most of us have already done. Unless you want to, Fatma, but she had shared a solution in the group chat. And so I think we can just look at her solution from the chat. So I'll share mine and then we see whether we can do one. Okay, no problem. All right. So let me share my solution. Slightly different, still using regex, but there's a small difference in implementation. You can see my screen.
Yes.
So I will walk through it and try to explain. Should I zoom in a bit? Or is the code clear?
It is for me.
Okay. So I will walk through it line by line. I will remove it from this singular implementation and I'll extrapolate it. I will also open up my terminal so that we go line by line. So basically, this is my implementation. To this point, this is confusing, so I will do it step by step. All right, so my regular expression right here, what it's doing, you guys can remember. Who can tell me what this regex is doing from what we've been doing, what we did with regex? Let me try to remember what this is doing. I have a hat outside my character set. And then within my character set, I have another hat. Then I have a plus sign here.
Is it checking like I think the first heart is checking like for the start, whether it's starting with whatever is inside the square brackets. Then inside the square brackets we have the a, e, o, u. It's checking like for the presence of, okay, there's a heart there, so it's like it's negating. So I think it's checking whether it's starting with anything else other than those vowels, the second heart
Yes.
that is inside. Yeah, so it's checking like now if it's starting with a consonant.
What about the
Then
plus sign?
the plus sign. It's checking like for what was that doing? For whether it's squaring like one or more times. That's
Yes.
checking.
Yes. So this, yeah, that's true. So what it's doing is it's checking first of all if the start of the string is not a vowel, but it's not just checking for one, it's checking for one or more. So there has to be the existence of at least one. That's what it's doing. So let's go through it. So I want to take some of those. So like glove. So let's use glove first of all. So glove. Okay, so if you are to test this using glove, if I was to say console.log, and then we take the vowel, this vowel regex, I say vowel regex dot test. And then we test the string that is being passed down here by the function, by this function. Right? So based off of that, what is going to be the value? Is it going to return a truthy value or a falsy value? So we are checking whether at the beginning of the string, right, at the beginning of our string, we have one or more consonants, not vowels, because we are negating vowels here, one or more. So based off of this, what is it going to return? What's going to be the value here? Because we are checking whether the string that was passed in starts with either one or more consonants. And our input is glove. What is going to be the response? Is it going to return true or false?
Should be true.
Should be true, because our word is starting with a G, which is not a vowel, right? So let's try. So CLS. So true. So you're getting a truthy value, right? So that's working. But we don't want to just test. We also want to match. So we want to match whatever passed. So in our string, you can see we have G and L. These two, this is one or more. This is matching the pattern. Remember what a pattern is. It's looking for a G, which is a consonant, followed by another consonant, right? That's why it will not match V, because V is first of all a vowel followed by a consonant, right? That's why it's not matching the V, because it's only looking for a pattern that is matching one consonant followed by another consonant. So we know that it's passing, we are getting a truthy value. Okay, but there's another method we can use. From our lesson on regular expressions, we have another one called match, right? So let's see what match does. So match number one, so I will comment on this. So match is called on the string, not on the vowel. So this is how you use test. You call it on, it's a method on the regular expression, not on the string value, but match is on the string value. So str.match, we are matching what? The vowel regex. We want to check whether our string value matches this pattern. We're simply asking, in our string, do we have two consonants following each other? That's what we're asking. So because we do have G and L, it's going to give us something back. It's going to match something. So if I clear this, and I can see it gives me back an array, right? And the first element in that array is our matched pattern. So the G and the L. That's the first benefit of match. It actually extracts the match. If we had another thing here, if we had another consonant, like another L, it's now going to match GLL, not just GL. Let's test that and see. So GLL, right? So it's matching consonants one or more times, but they have to follow each other. Okay. Now, so this up to this part, does anyone have a question up to this part? Now this here is what you can see right here. Yeah. Excluding the I'm getting the first element in the array. And based off of my example, what I just showed you, if I remove the G, the L, and then I run it again, you can see in my array, the first element, right, element 0. If I log that instead, we should see GL. What did I do? Okay, why is it not working? What did I change? String.match vowel. There should be 2 values here. Okay, there it is. Just a minute. What is going on? Okay. So let me see. We should be getting vowel regex, and then I want first index. There we go. So up to this point, this is an array. And then I'm getting the first element in the array right here. If I get the second one, I should see something different and see undefined. So I want first element in the array is GL. Then right here, what I am doing, I've explained the inner part of it right here, string.match. Vowel regex the first element in the array, and then I get the length. So because we know it only gives us back a response if we have consonants that are following each other, it's going to give us 2. Right? Now, we have already looked at slice. What am I saying next? I'm telling it, slice the string, this glove, starting from this position, because my vowel regex index 0 dot length is 2. So start slicing from 2, just like in the implementation that Evans had. Start slicing from this position all the way to the end. So I'm saying string.slice from string.match vowel regex, the first index, the first element, and then the length. So if we just have G and L, it starts from here, right? That's what I'm doing. And then the next part is take the string.match again. So we've already looked at string.match, this thing. We know when you get the first index, it gives you G and L, right? Gives you G and L. So we get that value G and L, and then we are simply adding it because I'm using backticks. So what I'm doing is, so when we match, right, we know the length is 2, so it starts slicing from here. So it gives us O, V, and E. So up to this point, right here, check this code. Here, we now have O, V, and E, right? And then the next step is, so after we get O, V, and E, right, we again want to take the thing we matched, the index 0, which will give us GL, because we want the first index, and then simply add AY to it. But remember, our first step was slicing the original, what we had initially. So now when you concatenate them together using backticks, what it gives you is eventually you get OVE GLA y over B. So maybe I can put them in rays in their own sliced string. And then consonants equal to this whole value here. Need backticks here. So I want to console log both these values. Let me move this down a bit. So sliced string is whatever we get OVE. So let's console log that. So let's see that value. It is OVE right here. Let me remove this so that we move sequentially. So this is what you're logging is this, because that's what this is doing. It's slicing from index 0 from our example. It's slicing from here. So it's taking O, V, and E. That's why when we log it, that's what we're getting, O, V, and E. And then with the matched consonants is simply G and L. And then we add A, Y to it just by doing this. So let me remove this first so that we don't have so many console logs. So you can see the first console log is OVE, and the second one, matched consonants, is G, L, A, and Y. And then I simply just add them together. That is essentially what I do. So now if we just console log sliced string and matched consonants, give us ovigly, because it simply took the two, added them together right here. Okay, up to that point, any question? Is there something I need to go through again? Is it making sense? Are you completely confused?
I think how I might have expected, not that you made a change to your code, but I thought I'd probably have called it a consonant regex, because to may negate. So I felt a bit confusing when it's a vowel, but it gives me it matches for consonants hapa. So may it's a negation.
Yeah, I'd not even seen that.
When you call it a vowel regex, I mean, just reading the code, I'd think it's
Yeah,
one.
not,
I'd expect a vowel.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think that would be more like it's just going through the code.
Yeah,
Then
that
so
makes
this is
sense.
a ternary operator. How you used a ternary operator on line 28, Sindo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go through it. I just want to first of all find out if there's any question. But is it making sense up to that point? Do you get what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite straightforward. Nilikuwa nimeogopa kwanza kuona ni line moja. Then,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
it's
quite
making
straightforward.
sense. When you extrapolate it like that, it makes sense. So now even here we can just come and so we can either declare a new variable here and just give it this sliced string plus matched consonant, and then we simply return it here instead. That's what we can do. So to not have this overhead of backticks and whatnots. So what we can do instead of doing this, let's simply say const they call it return. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a name to call it. Let's give it a weird name. Then I'll edit it if I need to. So I'm simply setting the value, the response now. It's the actual answer. So when I take this and I take the other one and I concatenate them together, as we've seen, we're getting ovigly. So when I match, okay, did not change this. So when I match, so when my match vowel, sorry, a consonant at the beginning and it's more than one, then what do I want to do? I want to return this str result. Actually, let me call it result. And I can simply come here, I can remove this here, and then I can return consonant result. That, and then when it doesn't start with one or more, so it means it's starting with a vowel, right? Because that's what it means. Then I simply want to take the string, simply add WAY. So if I remove this, remove this, and I test it again, it works. Now, the last test case, it will still pass. It will still pass because it will be handled by this. Yeah, this is what will handle it. So let's see what was the last test case. Let's see. And I just simply give it this value. Okay, so let's see. Is that the answer or is that the no, that's not it. This is the test case. I just simply need to remove this. Okay, so what will go, how will it solve this with what we currently have? We are returning a ternary. Okay, so what is going on? So will it return the truthy value? So do we start with a consonant? Yeah. is our rhythm starting with a consonant. Let's see whether it actually works. This is the right answer, right? So how is it getting to this value? Is it matching this right here, or is it matching this, the truthy value? Which one will it match?
He? Mi niko confused sasa hapo. Because on line 24, ikienda kwa line 24, what is it doing?
Hold on, let me comment. So here's the comment. So right here, this we are slicing. We are slicing the original string. So if we have, because the original string for when you have glove, when your string is equal to glove, what it's going to do, it's going to take this string, right? We are going to slice it from position 2, because when we extract consonant regex, when we try to match, right? When you try to match consonants one after the other in glove, we get G and L, right? That's what we get. We get an array back that has the first index as G and L, then some other more information. So the match method, when you say str.match, and then you match your consonant regex, right? This is going to return an array. This match is going to, so this section here is going to return an array up to here. And then the first element in that array is G and L. Hence, this, get the first. Then I want to get the length, which is, because it's G and L, the length is going to be 2. So when we slice, when we say str.slice, and then we pass in this value here, we're going to have 2 here. So slice from 2 all the way to the end. When you just give it a starting value and you don't give it anything else, it normally slices from that point all the way to the end of the string. So that's what this is doing. So in the case of when you have glove, it's going to slice from here because this is 2. This is 0, 1, 2. It's going to start from here. It's O, V, and E. And then give you back O, V, and E. That's what this line is doing. So sliced string is equals to O, V, E. Up to that point, are you okay?
I'm following.
So up to that point, you now get what this is doing. This here. This is doing. This is simply extracting this, getting the length, which is 2.
But in the case of rhythm, it will get the entire length. That's what. So then when it gets the entire length, I think that's what is confusing me a bit. Sababu ikislice itachukua length yote. Zote ni consonants.
And then what is it going to do? So yes, you're right. It's going to take the whole thing. So let's look at that. So let me console log spliced string. When we have rhythm. Why am I not getting a value? Where am I going wrong? It's matching. Let me see. Okay. What voodoo magic is this?
It's giving for line 35. Maybe you can remove that.
No, it still give me this console log, but I don't know what is going on. It's giving us nothing. How is that possible? Because let's try to test. Let's try to test that value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
you get back the matched consonants. Like sliced string will be empty. Or I think that's how the code is translating, maybe.
I
Maybe
think
try to replace with another, maybe
We're not
glove.
matching this.
si hapo kwa kumatch, it's going to take the whole of it because it's matching all the consonants. So string dot slice will be string on line 27, itakuwa string dot slice, and then in brackets, what do you have in brackets?
This should give me an array. So let's so if we take this, let's console log this instead. Let's log this. Let's console log. So we are trying to see whether the string that was passed in rhythm starts with consonants. So see, this should match. The first index of that array should be this whole thing. Yeah. It's matching. I don't know why it's not giving me anything there.
I think your regex is checking all occurrences. You see, in the array we have the whole word.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So previously, I think you said it's checking the first two. But
No,
I
it's
think
checking one or
it's
more.
checking one or more. Oh,
Checking one or more.
Yeah. So if that length is it 5, it will return nothing. Like what you are previously trying to console log.
So if we do this here, yeah. I don't know what I was trying to console log. I think my brackets were in the wrong place. Because this makes sense. So this is what it returns. So it matches matches this. So then it simply adds AY to it because it matches the whole string, yes, and then adds AY to it, which is the correct answer. Because it's all consonants, so it returns the whole thing and then simply adds AY to it. So it just adds AY here, the end. That's why that last test case is working. Just extracts everything because none of them match. Like they're all consonants. So it passes this first test. That's why it's working.
With rhythm, what does line 27? Can you do a console log for line 27 and then pass in rhythm? Italeta nini?
It's already rhythm. See, you see, it's already italeta 5. Is it 5? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I put a dot length here, because the thing I'm logging in hapa is rhythm. It's what we are passing in. Because when this goes through that matching, it matches the whole string. And then dot length gives you,
Okay,
yeah,
I get ni brackets. In my head, the brackets were not where they were. So I think that was what was confusing me a bit.
gives you 6.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get the brackets were not bracketing in my head. So
Have they bracketed?
yeah, no, it's no, I see where because I
Bracketing.
was initially confused to say dot length in a brackets iko wapi, but I think I see it now.
Yeah. Okay, so but the idea to even do it that way was because of like we had been doing a lot of regex before we ended that call. And then I knew I had to find a way to extract the matched characters, the matched pattern. Then you could now use it to manipulate your answer. I know it was a complicated solution, or it looked very complicated, but really it was not. If you just used another method for regex, it would have made a lot of sense. Any question? Anything I need to redo? Any comment?
I think this is the way to go if you want to shine projects. Hizi za fails zinafanya kazi lakini kitaka kushine.
But you have to like first of all you have to see like the pattern. If you cannot bring it down to 2 tests, like 2 cases, maybe itakusumbua. Maybe now use something like an if else or if else if, but it worked. Okay. Anyone else please? I'm going to add. Is it clear? Do I need to comment something else to make more sense? Okay, I think some of us have already done the next challenge. Who has done the next challenge? Because I think I saw Joseph is at 20% for those challenges. So I'm not sure if that's, have you done any other, Joseph, with those challenges?
This is like from my previous attempts. Not really. I haven't done the next one. Like
Okay.
the progress is from what I was doing before.
I've done the first 2 in that intermediate. I started like from the top.
But you haven't done the next one.
No, I've not done the next after this. No.
Do we have time to do it? Or do we wait until tomorrow? Watu wamechoka.
I think I'm a bit lost. Challenges on your intermediate script in Africode Camp.
Yeah.
Oh,
You give it a shot.
I've
Actually, I was
done
like,
them a while back, but
oh,
I
you've done
think
all of them?
no. Hey, I said I had done some of them a while back, but I think I'll just try and see if I can still attempt them, but not right. Not at I'm doing it live. I was just lost about what challenges. Nikafikiria ni zile za front-end mentor.
No. No, I'm
Okay.
even asking about the next one after this, which is
Are we just doing the challenges this week? Or there was a project?
no. The projects that we are set out to do, we are still waiting for everyone to finish and host the results, the solutions. So this week we are doing challenges plus TypeScript.
How many projects are there?
There's 3 projects.
How many? Because I don't know, I have not been seeing them. Let me check.
Okay. The one I'm talking about, the next challenge is this one, search and replace. So maybe we try to do it and then we discuss it tomorrow. That's maybe a better approach.
Yeah.
Based off of what happened on Friday, we might end up leaving at 8 p.m. So maybe we can attempt this, see whether we can find the answer. Okay. So, but these challenges are good. They really teach you a lot. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5:15. We'll go through that next challenge. Attempt it and then we'll discuss it tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Tuonane kesho. Bye.